I'm James Turnbull. I work at Puppet Labs, where I'm the VP of Technical Operations, and I look after services, support, and operations. And I can be found on Twitter as @Carter, K-A-R-T-A-R. So I think last year it would have been, Gene talked to me about the idea you had to write a novel about trying to translate some of the ideas in the DevOps world into or at least some of the concepts into something that might appeal to a broader audience, or at least get exposed in a broader audience. And I was a big fan of the Visible Ops book, and I was very curious to see how that would sort of parse out to a fiction form of sorts. So I said to him that I'd be happy to read some drafts of the book, and I think I've read the first 3 parts as they've come out, and provided some feedback on each of them.
So what are the challenges that you're facing with DevOps in your...
So for me, I think I want to like where I work, and a lot of the environments that are more traditional operations and development stacks and silos. There's a lot of conflict. It's not very efficient, and it's not very effective, and a lot of time things just don't get done. And so what attracts me to DevOps is it's going to create workplaces where I'm actually going to want to work. Where developers, operations people, security people all cooperate and collaborate, and have a vested interest in seeing that the best possible outcomes are for the business are achieved. So I think the only way to actually to do that is to try and spread the sort of the good message to a broader number of people. And while it's still a niche community like it is now, that's just not getting enough out there.
Make the world however you want, say in the next 2 or 3 years, where would you like the DevOps movement to have gone?
Oh damn! I was hoping you'd give me a broader answer. Like, could I meet Jessica Alba, or
Feel free.
No, that's okay.
You can improvise here.
I think what I'd really like to see is that there's two sides of it. One of it's enlightened self-interest in that I work for a vendor that sells a tool that plays very well in the DevOps space, which is Puppet. So obviously the more people who adopt that is something that's attractive to us. But in 2 years' time, I guess I would like to see at least the message out there. People who actually understand that the way they've traditionally done operations and development, the way they've built those silos, is not the only way to do things. And even if it's not what we currently label DevOps as, then as long as it is something that where people are actually investigating these sort of, investigating the current concepts, which is sort of stay at an old, and actually saying, well, we don't have to do it this way. We can actually do it somehow differently.
What do you tell your family that you do? Because it seems like everyone is kind of lamenting the fact that it's really hard to explain their jobs.
So I've been in IT for about 20 years, and about 10 years ago, whenever I changed jobs, I used to write out about a paragraph or 2 paragraphs explaining in layman's terms what I did, and I'd email that to my parents, and so that when their friends would ask them, what does James do? They would be able to print the bit of paper, and they would go, James works with computers. Specifically, he works at the bank stopping bad people stealing good people's money, in those sort of terms. And as a result, I think my parents got a reasonably good idea of what I actually did. These days, though, I guess, I think they've gotten used to it being, buzzwords and acronyms and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
So if you had to do DevOps on a desert island, and you could only take one book with you, is there something?
Well, I'm hoping it'll be the DevOps cookbook. But I think if I had to take one currently published book, I'd probably take, something worth reading. A Tom Wolfe novel, or Catch-22. Maybe Catch-22 is actually probably a good choice. Given if I'm stuck on a desert island and all I get to do is DevOps, then yes, Joseph Heller might be a very good choice. So yeah.
That's really great. I guess unless you have anything else you'd like to spout about DevOps.
No.
Thank you very much.
That's okay. Hopefully you edit that out of things.